Hi, my name is Adora Svitak. I was really thrilled to hear about the passage of the healthcare reform bill recently. Now this might surprise some of you since I am, after all, dependent. I have healthcare and I won't have to worry about the cost of seeing a doctor for at least another few years. So why do I care about healthcare reform? Well, to me, it's about something that we're all told as kids. Share, especially with those who are less fortunate than you. This bill helps so many people in so many ways, especially those who are less fortunate than I am, that I think that the opposition to the healthcare bill is really grounded in selfishness, misconceptions, and partisanship. The Republicans who oppose this bill, and the opposition is comprised mainly of Republicans, all rake in $174,000 a year. I looked it up and that's the average salary for the senator or representative. They have prestigious jobs which give them untold opportunities, and most importantly, they all have health insurance. They are more fortunate than America's unemployed or underemployed, who often don't have health insurance or don't have enough, who make little and scrape by. Now, a healthcare reform bill would really help those who are less fortunate, yet Republicans presented a solid wall of opposition. Why? With crucial elections coming up, I think that it was easier for them to preach a populist and entirely false message of fighting a government takeover of health insurance than it was to go against overwhelming party dogma and vote for the bill. It was easier to shout catchy slogans like "kill the bill" than it was to explain the true benefits of healthcare reform. And it was easier to hide an anti-Obama agenda behind a mask of standing up for constituents than to help a bill urged on by a president whom none of them had voted for. Ultimately, it was easier to be selfish. This is not to say that all those who oppose the healthcare reform are a bunch of self-serving, idiotic losers. No doubt there are a lot of good, perfectly intelligent people out there who oppose the healthcare reform bill because they have come across some common misconceptions, which have shaped their views. Let's start with death panels. People, there are no death panels. Contrary to popular belief, a big circle of government bureaucrats isn't going to go to grandma and decide whether she lives or dies. Rather, doctors are encouraged to speak to patients about what they want for end-of-life care, which means asking grandma, would you like to pursue this treatment, and if so, for how long? Which is fine. As a matter of fact, if you take objection to that, I'm not even sure if that's still in the bill because of that whole death panel brouhaha. A second misconception is that this will get us deeper into debt. Now, yes, it will cost lots of money, billions of dollars in fact. However, the nonpartisan congressional committee did research on the bill and found out that over 10 years it would actually save the government money. It's not losing money, it's not going further into debt, it's saving money. The third misconception is that a healthcare reform bill will mean gazillions of new taxes crushing America's working class. Admittedly, if you are rich, you will pay more taxes, but I think that if you're rich, you can afford it. In other words, you're fortunate. You should share and help those who are less so, which is really at the root of many of our philosophies. That you should share with those who don't have what you have. If you have health insurance, if you have lots of money, help out those who don't. Now, what's more, it's not just going to force you to buy costly health insurance without any help. If you're making less than $88,000, and $88,000 is a lot of money, then you will get government subsidies that will help out with the costs. The vote on healthcare reform split exactly on party lines. Republicans stayed in line with their party's somewhat hypocritical, considering past administrations' records, ideals of small government and no taxes on rich people, meaning that they were all solidly opposed to the bill. They zealously protested the healthcare bill as a government takeover of insurance, despite the fact that the government was not going to be taking over health insurance. The government is not going to be giving you your health care. The government's not going to have a public option. That's all been wiped out. It's only that the government is saying to you, get health insurance, we'll help you cover if you need that help, and if you're rich, then you can help out with that cost, which I think is okay personally. Now, the Republicans apparently didn't. Although many Republicans try to take this populist approach and say we're standing up for the working class Americans, they were really playing right into the hands of the big insurance companies. They really showed their commitment to making a better health care bill by attacking every single new idea Democrats or the president brought up without contributing any better solutions, went into the bipartisan meeting that President Obama scheduled with low expectations and repetitive ideas. And finally, when the health care bill was up for a vote, they said that it needed to start over. You might have said that a little earlier, folks. As if opposition couldn't get any worse, lunatics start joining the party. The Republican Party, that is. Republican Party Chairman Michael Steele even said about Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party, "This November they're going to pay, so let's start getting Nancy ready for the firing line this November." And Sarah Palin's Facebook page featured a map with crosshairs showing the voting districts of Democrats who had voted for the bill. There were numerous death threats and hate mail going to congresspeople who had voted for the bill. The brother of one congressman even had propane lines slashed near his house. Now, the fire of right-wing fanaticism has only been exacerbated by Republican rhetoric from these prominent figures like Michael Steele and Sarah Palin. It's time for them to stop. Throughout the whole health care reform debate, the Republicans have said, the American people don't want this, the American people don't want that. I'm tired of being talked about like some pawn on a chessboard. This is one American who is all for health care reform. Thank you.